Couples Therapy with Kelly, Rick, and Lewis on the Morning Blitz. It's 8:42, and I can definitely see this happening down at Ohio State campus. I don't know if that's where Allison was, but it just seems like this could have come right from that campus, and if any of you have been around campus, you'll know exactly why after we read this letter. It says, I've been dating a guy for a few weeks. It's very new. I'm 25, and he's 24. I went to his apartment for the first time last week. Could not find any visitor parking. There's a sign in the lot that says non-permit holders will be towed. So I asked him where I should park. He told me that no one ever gets towed in the lot, so to just park in any open space. So I did. And so I got towed. He did drive me to the impound lot to pick up my car, but he didn't offer to pay the tow charge. He didn't even offer half. Is this a red flag, or am I the red flag, expecting him to at least offer? I know I'm ultimately to blame, but he's taking no responsibility at all, and I'm out $143. Allison in Columbus. So that sounds like, just that kind of stuff happens down on campus all the time.
Yep.
Obviously, yeah, it's your car, so you have no choice in the matter. You got to take care of it. I don't know. He told her no one ever gets towed, and then she got towed. So I feel like he should at least come up with half, right?
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah,
I would say you're in a new relationship, Allison, but to know this, and this is my husband's theory, I think is really spot on with relationships. He says there are two kinds of people in this world. There are givers and there are takers. Mm-hmm. And as you're evaluating a relationship, you will get clues along the way as to whether you're dating a giver or a taker. Now, certainly this may not prove much, but it certainly shows that he's not a giver in this situation. He doesn't really look like he's wanting to help you solve or take care of a situation that he is at least partially responsible for. So I would say, yes, it is approaching a red flag. I'd consider it a yellow flag, yellow to red flag. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily a deal breaker with a relationship, but I would pay attention to this because it is showing you something.
Jay from Lancaster said, dude's a bum, give her my number. I agree. I kind of am on the same page with Jay there. I have some experience in this matter, because he told her where to park. So therefore, he's kind of, like Kelly said, partially responsible at best. At worst, he's partially responsible. My sophomore year of college, maybe it was my freshman year of college, one of the two. We moved into an apartment complex that had a parking garage attached to it, and everybody, depending on the size apartment, if you were a 2-bedroom apartment, which we were, we had 2 spots that were designated for us. Every place had one. So my roommate, Tim, at the time, invited this girl and her friend over to hang out with us. And mind you, for the better part of 6 months, the spaces next to ours had been vacant because nobody lived across the hall from us. So we told her to park there. She ended up getting towed. We had to pay the tow and the impound fee because we told her to park there. Come to find out, and this is where some would call it a Richard move. We called it karma. We found out later that it was the people, because Tim knew the chick who worked in the leasing office. Come to find out later, the people who lived across the street had not even moved in yet. Mind you, this is the key to this. Had not moved in yet, but had started moving things in. And happened to be there the same night she came over, dropping something off or whatever, called and had her car towed out of their spot. Did not leave a warning note, because there have been times that somebody's parked in my spot and I've been like, hey, dude, this is my spot, please park someplace. You leave a note the first time, right? Not them. They had it towed. So we got pissed. And Tim worked for a construction company, so he had a truckload of sand dumped into their parking spot one day.
Oh, my gosh.
Had some tires from a junkyard, put physical stuff. We went and collected trash bags and dumped it into their parking, stuff that they had to physically move. And then I remember one night the Domino's guy knocked on the door, and I heard him. I heard the other guy answer, and I peeked my head out the door. I'm like, charge him $150 because that's how much it cost me to pay for my friend's towing bill and impound fee before they even moved in. And the guy just shut the door quietly.
Wow.
So
You guys went to all that trouble?
absolutely.
What? I mean,
Absolutely.
you don't sand.
As soon as we found out who it was through the leasing office, it was on. Then I'm like, okay, Richard, let me show you what being a Richard really is. So it was fun at the time, but I've matured quite a bit since then.
Well, I think that's a great point because this is a situation where you're dealing with a 24-year-old man just becoming a man, right? You're 24. You're sort of like
child.
you're figuring out life, right? That's what you do in your mid-20s. Maybe this guy is just not like quite up to maturity to offer to pay, and that could be the point. Lee texted in, college age kids have no idea what accountability is. He's a little older than college age, I would say, but I would say that's the same situation. He might not have had even the knowledge or the maturity to say, I ought to pay for this. I surely should pay for this. But, so I'll maybe mark it up to immaturity, but I would consider it a semi-red flag.
Now,
absolutely.
The other question I had, was there a sign that said "Don't park here"?
Yes.
Okay, so they parked there anyway.
It's permit only.
Yeah, permit only parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Ben,
Jamie wants to call you Tom Petty, Lewis, because you are petty.
Ben said a well-mannered man would have definitely offered. Any dude who's actually interested in a girl would want to pay just to merely impress her. So, yeah, Allison, you maybe want to take that into consideration. What is it? He's just not that into you. I don't know.
I would have paid out of courtesy. I mean, you can't stick somebody with that kind of bill. You know what I mean?
No, you want to be a hero, you just pay the whole thing, dude. That's what you should have done. But instead, you left her on the hook for something that she specifically asked you about, and you gave her bad advice. You didn't pay a cent of that. I don't know, Allison. If it were today happening to me, that would be an absolute deal breaker. I'm not interested in being with somebody who is not interested in helping me out of a situation he put me in.
Flip the switch on that. If she comes over and doesn't ask where to park and she parks in a permit-only zone and gets towed, that is on her, and I'm not helping you at that point in time.
100% agreed.
Carrie said, just when I thought I couldn't love Lewis more. That's amazing. Bravo.
Thank you.
Doug said, remind me not to piss off Lewis.
Guys, that was when I was way younger.
And Allison Byron said, if you date him and he gets you in trouble, he will definitely pay your way out of it. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious as to what the discussions have been.
2 people have texted in one after the other that said he might just be broke, and maybe the guy was broke, and that could be.
Yeah. But at least offer to pay for. Hey, I'm working. I'm going to reimburse you for. Some of
you
this.
could say it, and I think maybe if it's a source of embarrassment, that maybe that is what happened, and just being embarrassed that you don't have the money, but just to say for future to say, I am so broke right now, but I am absolutely helping you pay this. I am getting you the money. And that gives Allison a chance to say, oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but it also depends on what kind of girl Allison is, too, because I know I had a girlfriend in college that when I was like, I don't have any money, she's like, oh, that's okay. We can just go out for dinner. I'm like, nah, you didn't understand what I said. Me saying I don't have any money means I still have $60 laying around to take you to Applebee's. No, me saying I don't have any money says I don't have any money. There's a difference. Your definition of not having any money, me not having any money, 2 different definitions.
Well, Allison, it looks like most people think this is at least close to a red flag. So,
Allison, I can't tell you the number of men who want to take you out. We just got a text from Jamie. So please tell Allison I have a 2-car garage. She could park here all day.